How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Cold Prey. This is from 2006. It's a Norwegian horror film, so it was originally known as Fritt Vilt, and this is directed by Roar Uthaug and stars Ingrid Bolso Berdal, Viktoria, Winge, and Rolf, Kristian, Larsen. And this is a slasher movie, and it's one that I kind of sadly wanted to like more than I did. I mean, a slasher in the snow at this really cool old hotel. Like, it had a lot of things that I really liked and really wanted to get into this movie, but sadly, it just never really clicked with me, you know? It's like a car in a horror movie that just keeps almost starting. And I don't want to say it's even really a bad movie. It's not terrible. It's just kind of a so-so slasher that I just couldn't really get into. And there's a few things with that. I mean, it does take a while to get going. It is kind of slow, and then when you do get to the kills, there's a few chase sequences, but nothing really super spectacular. But I think a good way to kind of put why this doesn't work is recently, for this snow series I'm doing, I watched the movie Ghost Keeper, which was another snow hotel movie. But Ghost Keeper, the characters just fired a little bit better. The characters were kind of interesting, and the atmosphere in Ghost Keeper was really cool. And I think that's the thing that's missing with this film. The characters were kind of generic, and I just couldn't really get into them. And the atmosphere just didn't really work as well. And that's the thing, is this hotel in the snow, it should have been really cool. But it's like some of it looks like an interesting, real, cozy old hotel that's been abandoned. And then for whatever reason, some of the place, like these hallways leading to the rooms, were strangely sparse. And they didn't even really feel like the same set. But when you're showing me a creepy hotel, I just wish the cinematographer, or the director, I guess, would choose the shots. I just wish we got a good wide shot, let us soak in, let us enjoy the place. It didn't really capture the hotel's atmosphere, and I just wish they had got a few more shots to allow us to experience this place, but it never really focused on it too much. Also, all the cinematography is done very 2006 with remnants of 90s cool, where everything is like super dark with like little highlights of light, and it looks too shiny for a horror movie. I mean, it's professional cinematography, but it's a little too shiny, it's a little too clean, and also that darkness really keeps us from seeing the hotel. And also the whole movie's color graded. Not gonna lie, the whole movie's color graded to be this butt ugly shade of gray, and I really don't like that. If you're gonna be a black and white film, be a black and white film. But I really don't like when it's this muted, uninteresting gray color, and you just make the whole movie this boring gray. It just wasn't nice to look at. So the movie just didn't have good atmosphere, didn't have good characters. It took a while to get to the kills, and when you got there wasn't anything too big or over the top. So yeah, it was okay. It's a B, maybe C grade slasher. They made 2 more of these, and, you know, it was obviously successful enough for that. It's just one that, you know, I didn't hate it. It didn't click with me, you know, so I really do wish it was better. It had its moments, and I mean, even though the camera didn't soak in the hotel, it was still a snowy hotel slasher, so it still had something going for it. And I do want to say, it's not terrible, it's okay, it's just one that I really wish I liked better than I did. Let's talk about the plot. in order to analyze it further. I don't want to do any major spoilers, so I'll be avoiding like the end and stuff, but I do want to dissect the movie a little more and kind of get at the heart of what it's about. So let's talk a bit about the plot. We open up with Prologue Kid, and we get that he is lost in the snow and his parents are all concerned for him, and then we find out that several more people go missing. Now this whole mystery with Prologue Kid, it'll be at the beginning, it'll be at the end of the film just briefly, and then scattered throughout there'll be like a newspaper or a clue or something, and they'll go, huh, what's up with that? It's really not the most involved mystery ever. It's your setup, and you're basically better off just kind of forgetting about it until the end. It's not super involved, but also making this the opening of your movie, it's not that great of a hook. And you really, if you wanted to do an unrelated opening scene, you needed to make it more terrifying because you're trying to lure us into a horror movie. It needed a better hook. But yeah, this movie doesn't do mystery super well. But anyway, we then cut to our main characters in the car going on their skiing trip. You get your main girl, who is a pretty generic, smart, and capable final girl. Not bad, but not super unique. Her boyfriend, which is passable, I guess, just kind of forgettable. And then you have, like, make-out couple, who are going to be the goofier characters. And then you have the nerd character. The nerd character is kind of jokey and has a secret crush on the protagonist. And I guess he's the most developed, actually. He probably the best character just because they wrote him with more layers than the other ones. So, yeah, the nerd character there. No one super deep and no one I really super get behind. But, yeah, okay, kind of stock characters. And they're going on a ski trip, and if I remember correctly, when they go on the ski trip, they actually play like cool ska music behind them. And the thing is, like, for that one moment in that one scene, yeah, cool ska music. Doesn't fit with the tone of the rest of the movie though, but whatever. And of course the nerd kid breaks his leg. And yeah, the setup of the movie, I could never really 100% get behind. They're skiing down the mountain, he breaks his leg, and they go, oh, we can't take him down the whole of the mountain. They look around and see an abandoned hotel and decide that it's going to get dark, we need to spend the night in the hotel. And I'm like, okay, I get taking the injured guy in the hotel for shelter, but you did plan on getting home tonight. It didn't take you that long to see that he had a broken leg. It's not like it delayed you by hours. Like, put the injured guy and a few of the friends in the hotel, but then send, like, at least one or two people down the mountain to go get help. It, like, oh, we gotta get shelter. I'm like, yeah, he does, but everybody stop it. Like, he's gonna just spend the night with his broken leg in this hotel and no one's gonna help him until morning. But apparently it's okay, because apparently broken legs are super easy to fix. Yeah, they just kind of pop his leg back into place, and then the lead apparently had seen dog soldiers because she just super glues the wound shut, and we're all good. And like, he's lying on the couch for a good chunk of the movie, but by the next day he does get up and hobble around. Apparently broken legs are super easy to fix. Who knew? He's doing great. Maybe we don't even need to go. Okay, don't take that as actual advice. But yeah, no, he's just more or less fine later. So, okay, I guess breaking your leg, even with the bone sticking out of it, in this movie, not that big a deal. In real life, though, it probably would be. But anyway, as he's there, wallowing in pain after they glue him shut, it kind of meanders for a little bit. Look around the hotel, try to get the power going, have some drinks, listen to some music, it's not that great, during this opening section, So it had the kind of implausible setup, and then it kind of just still takes a minute as they're just kind of moseying around. And I guess we do get some more of that mystery with the kid. We also get, and I really don't like, they do this whole thing where like one of the rooms had a fire in it, and it never really is explained or elaborated upon. They're just like, fire room, wonder what happened here. No payoff for that. Apparently there was a fire somewhere in the past. But also, you get a little bit of a sense that someone was living there, but really, it's not like, with something like this, you should feel like, are we trespassing? Is there someone here watching us? And a good creepy stalker element, a good are we intruding element, could have done a lot with the opening slower part of this movie, but they don't really elaborate on that so much because by the time they're sure someone's there, the audience is already known for quite a bit, and it's basically like, oh, hey, there's ski stuff out, maybe someone's here. You could have done so much more with this. Whatever. Eventually we get to the kills, and as I said earlier, they're not great. There's some okay moments, but it's like, yeah, maybe a little bit of a chase, but then he's just gonna get you with his axe. Like, kills should be memorable, distinctive, terrifying. I can't believe that happened. Such a horrible fate. That's what I watch a horror movie for. And honestly, there's not that great of gore effects in here, too. There's some blood, but like, maybe if you had some gore, it could have made these things seem more brutal and stand out. And the DVD actually features a short film the director made when he was younger about someone getting cut up with a lawnmower, and there's a bunch of gore in that movie, so I don't really know why it's missing from the big feature film he gotta do. Yeah, the kills aren't great, it takes too long to get there. The killer is this guy in like, a big thick coat, and he's not super interesting, really. It's one of those things that I'm like, man, if this movie just had something, if it had something that went bigger, if it had something that went over the top, if it had something that swung for the fences, it would be a lot easier to get invested in this movie. But as it stands, it just takes too long to get going, the characters aren't super interesting, and the atmosphere just isn't super atmospheric, and it really did have a good chance where it could have been. And overall, I don't want to say it's bad or anything, it just doesn't quite start, it doesn't quite get going, and it just stays at a slasher B or C side, and I just wish that it had some more of a little spark to it. I don't know. They made 2 sequels, and I've managed to find Cold Prey 2, so I'll probably check that out soon. It is really cold right now. I'm trying to get some snow movies done, and I think 2 actually takes place in a hospital, so that should be interesting. But anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my slasher movies playlist. I've talked about things like Halloween and Friday the 13th, but I've also covered another snow slasher, Shredder, so if you guys want to see more, you can click right there and see more. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.